Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we're doing the what's next on the now former world title challenger Zelfa Barrett, following his second pro defeat when he challenged for the vacant IBF title on November 5th on DAZN, when he took on undefeated Shavkat Rakhimov in a mandatory title fight. I think the fight was taken on about 5-6 weeks notice. I think Barrett was probably due to fight on the undercard, but we know Rakhimov was supposed to fight, I don't know why I keep forgetting the guy's name, whatever his name is, Joe Cordina, that's right, I'm sorry. He was supposed to fight Cordina, and Cordina ended up getting hurt and stripped of the title. So that left Rakhimov and Barrett, because Barrett was next in line to fight the winner of that fight. That left them in line to fight for the vacant belt. So, you know, it was an interesting fight for Barrett. You know, he came in, I predicted what happened to happen, where Rakhimov would stop Barrett in the late rounds, but Barrett fought a lot better than I was expecting. I thought Barrett was going to go in there, maybe have some success early, and that was going to be it once Rakhimov figured him out. But he had success while Rakhimov was still figuring him out. He was boxing well. He was actually winning the fight at the time of the stoppage, but he just ran out of gas. He also knocked down Rakhimov. And he showed me in what the part of the fight that I watched, showed me when he sits down on his punches, the guy's got pop. Even though his record doesn't, you know, translate to him being a power puncher, but he really hurt Rakhimov and put him down pretty hard. Rakhimov, you know, still weathered that and kept coming forward, and Barrett was boxing and having success, but he just couldn't keep the sticking and moving up, which is why maybe he would have had more success if he would have sat down on his punches earlier on, taken some risk earlier on, because if you run out of gas towards the end because you're moving so much, you should have taken a little bit more chances earlier when you had the guy hurt. And that's the way I saw that. But I'm not going to take nothing away from Zelfa Barrett. I just hope he bounces right back. I mean, because, yeah, it sucks to lose, and it sucks to get stopped, you know, which he lost and was stopped in that fight. But I don't think that should deter him from moving forward and fighting somebody decent. So let's look at the top 10 now and see what's possibly going to be next for Zelfa Barrett following that loss. You know, I'm going off of my mid-year top 10s where they were at the time. Things have drastically changed at 130. We'll start with Oscar Valdez, the former champ. Well, that's not going to happen. Valdez is going to fight Emmanuel Navarrete for the vacant WBO title in February. So no chance of Barrett and Valdez. You got Robson Conceição. I don't see it, only because they're with different promotions. I think Conceição is probably going to get an opportunity somewhere else because, you know, his fight with Stevenson, which was his first title opportunity, Stevenson was overweight, so Conceição is probably going to get, you know, a little bit, an opportunity next. But because Barrett and him are coming from different promotions, plus, I don't know if it's the best style matchup for Zelfa Barrett. I'm going to say not likely that we see that one. Then you got a rematch with Shavkat Rakhimov. Not going to happen because Rakhimov is due to defend against Joe Cordina next in a mandatory fight. So, you know, I could see the fight possibly down the road, but it's definitely not happening next. Joe Cordina, the former IBF champ. Not going to happen next because Cordina is supposed to fight Shavkat Rakhimov next. So that's what's supposed to go on there. You got former champion Roger Gutierrez. It's not a bad fight if Gutierrez wants the fight and if Barrett wants the fight, because they're both tied to DAZN. Gutierrez is with Golden Boy and Zelfa Barrett's with Matchroom. But I think it's unlikely, both of them coming off of losses, that they lock horns together in the next fight. I don't see it happening. Hector Garcia, the WBA champion, not likely. Garcia's with the PBC. Not likely that Zelfa Barrett, a Matchroom guy, would get a shot at him next, or that there would be interest in that. Lamont Roach Jr., the former world title challenger, he also has ties to DAZN because he's with Golden Boy. Not a bad matchup, But I don't know if Zelfa Barrett wants to take on a guy with the style of Lamont Roach. And I'm not sure Lamont Roach wants to risk his #1 status against a guy like Zelfa Barrett. So I'm leaning towards a no. Guys like Kenichi Ogawa, the former IBF champion, not sure. You know, not a bad matchup, but Ogawa's coming off a knockout loss as well against Joe Cordina. It doesn't make sense for these two guys to lock horns. So Zelfa Barrett, I don't know if he comes back against a top 10 guy, because mainly because of options. Not that he wouldn't want to, but what if he doesn't want to? That has to factor into things as well. And maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't see any good, see a top 10 guy next for him. But at the very least, he should be back in the next few months, in my opinion. I would come back in mid to early spring. Take some time off, get some rest. But, you know, if I'm Zelfa Barrett, I'm planning on a 2-fight year in 2023, and that second fight to be a potential eliminator to set himself up for another world title shot, because he really did well in this one, and he wants to stay in the mix of a wide open 130-pound super featherweight division. So that's it. That's what I got. That is the what's next on former world title challenger Zelfa Barrett following a loss to Shavkat Rakhimov as he got stopped in the 9th round. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave the comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.